Everyone, welcome back to another video. Happy Fortnite mares. I know I've been gone for a while. I was busy helping my grandparents paint their garage. But today, Wednesday Addams and the hearse have finally come to Fortnite. And it's about time I make a new video because I haven't made one for quite a while because I've been at my grandparents' place. Sorry if I sound a bit strange today. I am currently ill with something and it is messing with my vocal cords, so speaking is going to sound a bit different. But I have already bought the hearse. Wednesday, I'm probably not going to get Wednesday. The emotes are very cool though, but today's video will be about the hearse. Now unfortunately, it doesn't have a special name. It's literally just called hearse, which I feel kind of sucks. But this is now the oldest car in Fortnite. Even though it's not a real life car, it is the oldest car in Fortnite. My guess is roughly 40s to 50s. Now, everyone who does know or owns it knows that the Snoop Dogg Cadillac used to be the oldest car in Fortnite, but now this takes the place as the oldest car in Fortnite. And ever since I saw it in the Rocket League trailers a while ago, I've just been super excited to get it, and thanks to helping my grandparents paint their garage, I've been able to afford it, which is awesome. Speaking of Wednesday, here's a quick turnaround. Here's our backplane. Here's a pickaxe, just an umbrella. And she's got a cello, which is quite cool. And the emotes are quite nice. I'm only gonna play a little bit of them because they might be copyrighted. But the emotes are pretty good. I'm just gonna rev the engine off the hearse a little bit. Sounds pretty good. This car comes with 4 decals. Strangely, only 2 of the 4 default decals, only having wings and flames. This is what it looks like blank. Now when I do the gameplay, I will keep it black for the sake of it being a hearse, and hearses just being black in general. So this is the first decal, called the Nevermore Standard, which is what you guys have seen already, me rotating it. It's quite cool. I really like the purple and the black. I wish that there was decal that made the roof black on the just regular hearse without the Wednesday being on the side. But other than the Wednesday being on the sides, this is a very cool decal. I love it. Now next is the Wuggy Wagon decal, which is a Playtime Co. branded. See, has the grab pack hands on the rear. Has paint splashes on the roof and on the rear wings. The front wings are red, which is quite cool. It has Huggy Wuggy on the bonnet, and I'm pretty sure it has the Playtime logo on the roof as well. Changing the color of the decals as well changes the color of the curtains inside the car, which is a really awesome detail. I love that. So see, on this decal they are red, on the Wednesday decal they are purple, and because the default decals, I was gonna say because they are uncolored they would be white, but because this was orange, because I had used it already, the curtains are orange, and this one being white, the curtains are now white, which is a very nice little detail that they didn't need to do, but I'm very glad they did. So as everyone knows, like I said already, the 1966 Cadillac DeVille was the oldest car in Fortnite. Now I will compare the hearse to the Cadillac in game next to each other, because when I was looking at them earlier when I bought the hearse, there was a crazy difference with them. Now I'm not going to say what it is yet, but I will show you that difference soon. So I'm just going to quickly turn the flames to white so I can show you them both in white. Now I love the flames on this car, you know, the 50s, just the 50s look with the flames on the front, like a hot rod type thing. It's just awesome. I love it. Even just white on black looks cool, especially with the white wool wheels, which are very, very nice tires. Now for the wings decal, which is the first iteration of bat wings. We've never had a bat wing decal before. What we normally have is the feathers or the angular versions of the wing decal, but this is the first version that strays away from that and turns into bat wings, fitting Halloween and the hearse theme, which is very cool. I'm also going to show you briefly the hearse wheels, which are strangely Pontiac series. Very, very, very nice wheels. They remind me of the Batmobile wheels a little bit, but with white walls. But these are just very, very nice wheels. I like them quite a lot. They fit the car very, very nicely. Now, as you've seen already, I'm just going to say this is a SUV body. So you can fit your whole squad in this car, which I'm very, very glad they did. I was very worried they'd make it a sports car slot car, but they did make it an SUV, so you can fit your whole squad in, and it is absolutely amazing. So now I'm gonna go into the game and do the gameplay showcase, so I will see you in a bit. Okay, so now I am going to show you the hearse in game, starting with no decal as usual. Now this is a very, very, very big car. As you can see here, at its highest point, it is taller than my skin, which is quite interesting. Now I'm gonna do you the engine sound and show you what it sounds like driving around before I go on to the final decals. You also sways quite a lot when you steer, which is very, very nice. Very reminiscent of cars from this era, their softer suspension. Here's the startup sounds. Now I'm just gonna park it up real quick and I'll get to the decals. One thing to note, in my opinion, I wish it had something on the roof, because without a decal, or with the two default decals, the roof is quite bare. I wish it had something like a roof rack maybe, or some more chrome trims on the top a little bit. Like if this chrome line on the front followed down the middle of the roof and went to the rear, that would be quite cool. But a roof rack on this would be absolutely amazing. And again, the front bumper is just awesome. I love how it's modeled. I love all the chrome. I love all the curves. It's just awesome. Even the rear bumper, which is much simpler. What they did with the boost hole is quite good. It's probably one of the better boost holes from the original cars that they've been making. And the exhausts are really nice. They're in a really good position. They look good when you're boosting. They're just really, really good. And now I can't remember the name of these lines on the side, but I watched a video of them telling what they are about. And what they are for originally is, on the earliest cars, it was to make the car be convertible. So the front of the roof would be on the front little ballpoint there. The rear of the roof would be down there on the rear one, and in the middle it would be on the frame of the car. So if you span this pole forwards or backwards, it would lower or raise the roof, and then slowly evolved onto just being a decorational thing on hearses and I think a few muscle cars in real life. But enough of that, onto the decals. So I'm going to go for the default decals first. Sadly, there's only 2 of the 4 default decals for this car, which is unfortunate. But starting off with the flames. And like I said when I was looking at it in the menus, I absolutely love this decal. It looks awesome. Completely makes it look like a hot rod, wet rod type of hearse instead of just a regular hearse. Matches the curves very, very nicely. 10 out of 10 decal. Sadly, nothing on the rear or on the roof or on the sides other than the front wings, which is unfortunate. But putting that aside, definitely a 10 out of 10 decal. Next up is the wings decal, which, like I said earlier and showed earlier, it is bat wings, which again is the first wings decal of its kind. We haven't had a wing decal that hasn't been feathers or angular to my knowledge. But this is 100% the first bat wing decal. Now, despite this being a very unique decal, it is very basic. It's literally just wings on the front wings. Wings on wings, I guess. And again, like the flames decal, there's nothing on the rear or on the roof or on the rest of the sides other than the front sides or on the bonnet, which is unfortunate. It would have been cool if the rear had something or the roof had something. But even though it's fairly basic, it is quite unique, so I'll give it a good 7 out of 10. On to the next decal. So starting off with the final 2 decals, and starting off the partnership decals, is the buggy wagon. Now for a partnership decal, this has got to be one of my favourites of them all, because it's just quite colourful. It's got the Playtime logo on the roof. Like I said earlier, it's got the grab pack hands. It's got a yellow rear. It's got the Playtime Co logo on each side as well. And these paint splashes over the rear wheels and on the roof. And obviously Huggy Wuggy on the front. It's just a very, very nice decal. And even though it's a hearse, and it probably could have been put on a van or something, they did this decal very, very well. They knew what they were doing, they knew what they were putting it on, and they just made it match incredibly well. Now, one thing I shall note, which is a bit nitpicky, is that the paint lines on the front wings doesn't actually fill up the entire wing. As you can see here on the bonnet, the seam between the wing and the bonnet is there, but the paint line just doesn't go to the seam, although it looks like the wing just ends there, which isn't a huge problem. It's very nitpicky, I know. That's just a small detail I would like to get out there. And another detail I've noticed is that the front is lighter than the rear. It has this smokish effect in the middle here that goes from each side into the roof, that transitions into this nice darker blue. Now I wish something like this was would happen for the regular decals. Again, maybe the roof being a slightly darker color. Like if you put the same color on the decal on the car body, the roof would be darker. That would be quite cool to give it like a vinyl effect, because a lot of cars had vinyl roofs. But finishing off the decal will be the Wednesday Addams decal. Let's get to it. So here it is, the final decal, which is the Nevermore decal. Enjoy Wednesday. And again, I absolutely love the purple that they chose for this car. Decal, I mean. I love the silver spider webs, how they link up with the chrome streak in the middle there, and the spider webs over the rear wheels. 10 out of 10 decal for a partnership decal. It does kind of suck that they have the Wednesday on each side. It looks a bit strange having that logo there. I feel like if that logo wasn't there, this decal would be much, much better. Also has these slightly darkened stripes with this Nevermore logo at the rear of the roof. Now this decal perfectly explains what I wish would happen with a default decal, as this decal makes the roof go black while keeping most of the rest of the body purple. And just the color combo of silver, purple and black, especially this slightly darker shade of purple as you go into the sun to get it reflecting off the paint, is very, very nice. Matches. And one thing I'd also like to say is that every single decal matches the wheels perfectly. So whoever worked on this car and all of its decals did an incredible job working on it. It has got to be the best SUV in the entire game, in my opinion. I think second would now be the Ninja Turtles van with its customization. Speaking of customization, the only thing I'd wish for this car is to be more customizable, because as you can already tell, and as I've said plenty of times, there isn't much to be seen when it comes to customization, other than these 4 decals, the lack of all 4 default decals, only having these 2, and of course just having the base paint color. But again, absolute 10 out of 10 car. I'm very, very glad they made it an SUV. I was very worried it would be a sports car slot, but because it's an SUV, it's just made it a million times better. You can see, even if you look at it from the side, the roof kind of ramps up towards the rear as well. So it's taller at the rear than it is at the front, which is quite nice, much like real life hearses. Now again, I wish this did have more of a unique name. Again, this is just called the hearse, which is a bit unfortunate. But now to compare it to the Cadillac, which I know is a bit of a strange thing, but it's quite interesting to see the difference. I'm just going to park it up next to the Playtime hearse right here. Now looking down, you can already see it's slightly longer In fact, just quite a bit longer than the Cadillac. I've got them lined up quite neatly to the rear now. It's almost double the height. I'd say at least a third of the height taller than the Cadillac DeVille. The hearse is so big that it makes the Cadillac look like a microcar. Now keep in mind the Cadillac is a very, very big car in game as well. It's quite long. Even though it's kind of short, being a whole head and neck down to the shoulders height on the player model, it is still quite a big car. And the hearse just completely blows it away and makes it look tiny. It's like those pictures you see of American cars parked next to those tiny Japanese K cars. They just look completely different. So now we're reaching the end of the video. One thing I'd also like to say about this car is that I've been wanting them to add a wagon to the game. If you guys have heard of or played Pacific Drive, you'd know the wagon, type of wagon I'm talking about. You know, with the wood panels, boxy, 80s, 90s kind of vibe. But this, a hearse, even though it's not from this era I was thinking of, is still absolutely amazing. I'm very, very thankful we've gotten something like with like a wagony shape to it. Hearses being very similar, no matter what era they're from. But devs, if you're watching, please add Pacific Drive wagon to the game. My life would be yours. Devs, add the Pacific Drive wagon to the game, and my life is yours. Stuff like that. But to finish this video off, whoops, what am I doing? Pressing buttons that I shouldn't be pressing. Let me get rid of that. Okay, so I can't. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to DUBBY for partnering with me still. Use code PROTOBEE in their shop. That's PROTOBEE to get 10% off your order. I think they've just released a new flavor, and they are going to release releasing an upcoming flavor soon. I don't know what that flavor is yet because they haven't released what it is. But if you guys follow me on Twitter, I'll be retweeting whatever they post about it soon. So use my code in their shop to get 10% off your order, and to help out my channel, to get a little bit more funding so I can make these videos. Specifically the gameplay ones, so I can afford cosmetics such as this, skins, and other stuff. Now if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, give a big fat thumbs up. And if you didn't like the video, tell me down in the comments, give me some feedback. I know I sound weird in this video because of me being sick and all, but I promise that isn't going to be the norm. I will obviously be getting better eventually. But thank you guys so much for watching here. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.